Charles de Gaulle was a famous French leader. He was born on November 22, 1890, in Lille, a city in northern France. Charles grew up in a family that valued education and hard work. He was always a good student and loved to learn. When he was young, he knew that he wanted to become a soldier. He went to a military school to study and prepare to be in the army. In 1912, at the age of 22, Charles joined the French army. He became an officer and began his military career. Charles was a brave soldier during World War I, which started in 1914. He fought in many battles and was wounded several times. In one battle, he was captured by the German army and became a prisoner of war. He spent about 3 years in a German prison camp. Despite the difficult conditions, he never gave up and always tried to escape. Eventually, he was freed at the end of the war. After World War I, Charles de Gaulle continued his career in the French army. He became a writer and wrote books about military strategy and leadership. In these books, he shared his ideas about how a country should be led and how its military should be organized. He believed that France needed a strong leader to guide the country and protect it from dangers. In the 1930s, Charles became a well-known figure in the French military. He had strong ideas about how to improve the French army. He believed that tanks and airplanes were very important for the future of war. But many of his ideas were not popular with other leaders in France. They did not always agree with him. However, Charles kept working hard and did not give up on his beliefs. When World War II started in 1939, Charles de Gaulle was a general in the French army. France was quickly invaded by Germany. Many French leaders decided to surrender to Germany. But Charles de Gaulle refused to give up. He went to London and spoke on the radio to the French people. He told them to keep fighting and not lose hope. He said that France would never be defeated. His speech was very important for the people of France. It gave them hope and courage. Charles de Gaulle became the leader of the Free French forces. These were the French soldiers who continued to fight against Germany, even though France was under German control. Charles de Gaulle worked with the British and other countries to fight the German army. During the war, Charles de Gaulle made many difficult decisions. He had to lead the Free French forces and also work with other countries, including the United States and Britain. Sometimes, he disagreed with the leaders of these countries, but he always stayed focused on his goal of freeing France from German control. His determination and strong leadership made him very popular among the French people. After several years of fighting, in 1944, the Allies began to push the German forces out of France. Charles de Gaulle returned to France, and he was welcomed as a hero. He became the leader of the new French government. France was free again, and Charles de Gaulle was seen as the man who had helped save the country. Charles de Gaulle became the President of France in 1959. As president, he worked to make France a strong and independent country. He wanted France to be respected by other nations, and he made many important decisions to protect the country's interests. He worked to improve France's economy, built new roads, and developed better schools. He also made France's military stronger and ensured that the country had nuclear weapons to protect itself. De Gaulle also worked on making France's foreign policy stronger. He wanted France to be a leader in the world. One of his most famous ideas was to make France independent from the United States and Britain. He wanted France to make its own decisions without relying on other countries. To do this, he made many changes in France's relationship with other nations. For example, he pulled France out of the NATO military command in 1966 because he wanted France to have more control over its own military. Charles de Gaulle was also a leader who wanted to bring people together. He believed that all French people, no matter where they came from or what they believed, should work together to make the country stronger. He worked hard to create unity in France, and he made important changes to the country's political system. He helped to strengthen the power of the president, which gave him more control over the government. This was important for making decisions quickly and leading France in a strong direction. In addition to making France stronger, Charles de Gaulle also wanted to help people in other parts of the world. He worked to improve France's relationships with many countries in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. He believed that France could play an important role in helping other countries become independent and successful. This was especially important in Africa, where many countries were gaining their independence from European powers. Charles de Gaulle was very focused on France's place in the world. He wanted to make France a strong country that could stand up to other powerful nations. However, he also wanted to make sure that France remained true to its values, like freedom and democracy. He believed that these values were important for France's future and for the future of the world. In 1969, after many years of leading France, Charles de Gaulle decided to step down from his position as president. He felt that the French people no longer supported his ideas, and he believed it was time for a new leader to take over. He resigned and retired from public life. Charles de Gaulle passed away on November 9, 1970. He is remembered as one of the most important leaders in French history. His strong leadership during World War II and his time as president helped shape the future of France. People still respect his ideas about independence, unity, and strength. Charles de Gaulle is remembered not just as a soldier or a president, but as a symbol of courage and determination for the French people. Today, Charles de Gaulle's legacy lives on in many ways. The airport in Paris is named after him, and there are many streets and schools across France with his name. He is remembered as the leader who helped save France and made it a stronger, more independent country. Even though he is no longer alive, his influence on France and the world is still felt today.